Hello, fellow book-loving friends. Thank you for joining me for Spill the Tea with Dee Book Chat. Go ahead and click subscribe so you don't miss anything. My name is Dee Armstrong. Some of you already know me. I'm a romance and suspense author. My books leave a fingerprint on your heart. But I'm not only a writer, I'm a grandma, tea-aholic, gardening ninja, and I love to talk about books with my book-loving friends. Pour a cup of tea or your favorite decaffeinated beverage. I don't judge. Unwrap some chocolate and let's chat. Today I'm spilling with you from Central Tennessee, and we're chatting about Invincible by Kay Brooks. Now, it looks like we're having problems on Facebook. I apologize if you're having problems viewing on Facebook. I don't know why that's going on, but you can view this on my YouTube channel. So we're going to have to cut that stream. Okay, so we're spilling on Invincible with Kay Brooks. I'm going to welcome Kay to the stage.
Okay.
Hello, welcome, Kay. Thank you for being a part of Spill the Tea Book Chat. Tell our book-loving friends a little bit about you.
I'm a retired library director. I have been writing. I retired in 2013 and have been following my passion, which is to write, ever since then. And I've done 14 books since
Wow,
then.
Kay. That's great. And what year did you retire?
2013.
And what year did you start writing?
Well, I actually started writing back in probably 1989, 1990. But then I kind of put it on the back burner because life interferes, you've had family and things. And so I really didn't get back into it until I retired and decided, I think I want to just pull these books out and dust them off and see what I can do with them. And that's what I've done.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. I just want to remind the book-loving friends to say hello in the chat. We'd love to know if you could join us. It's always more fun when you comment and ask questions. Now, Kay is doing something very special for us today. She's giving away a signed copy of Invincible for free. Thank you, Kay. We really appreciate that. We really do. Now, as always, I have a signed copy of your choice of one of my books to give away. How do you win? In the chat in YouTube and Facebook, there's a link to enter to win an autographed copy of our books. Plus, you can sign up for our newsletter so that we can stay in touch. And you'll know about future Spill the Teas, book releases, and book news. Let's check the comments real quick. Oh, hello, Ella Davis. Hello from Georgia. Thank you for joining us today. We are so glad that you could find us since we had a little bit of a hiccup with Facebook today. Let's talk about Invincible. Here's the back copy of Invincible. Haley Turner had it all. A daughter of a wealthy financier, life as an upcoming model until she witnessed the murder of her best friend. She was also beaten, left dead, but fought amnesia, rebounded, and testified to put her attacker in prison for the rest of his life. Now, 5 years later, she lives alone and under an assumed name and is a best-selling author of chilling, spine-tingling murder mysteries under a pseudonym. When another friend and her only contact with her publisher is viciously murdered, Haley's life is once again turned upside down. Someone has put a bounty on her head, and assassins attack from all directions everywhere she turns. Now, Liam Walker, who has also suffered a dark past of his own, has protected Haley since the initial attack. He taught her self-defense, oversaw the construction of her tightly secured mountain hideaway, and now monitors her every move from a distance. He knows Haley's routines, secrets, habits, has observed her fitful sleep and cries in the night as she struggles with fears and phobias she's been forced to live with. Despite the fiery temper and sharp tongue, Leah can't help but admire the vibrant, buoyant, and volatile woman he trained to be invincible. He gave her an independence to live on her own, but now is forced back into her life and is needed to help her fight an army of thugs who have been unleashed upon her. He comforts her as she struggles with the nightmares that have returned with a vengeance, unveiling long-suppressed clues to a murder she thought was behind her. Kay, tell me, how did the story first come to you?
Well, probably, some months before that, I had, just, you hear these stories about people being in witness protection and stuff. And I was wondering, well, I wonder what it's like being in witness protection and, really having to give up your life that you knew and stuff. And then um, my imagination kind of kicked in and said, well, what if she was an author? What if she wanted to do this? What if she didn't like this and stuff? And so it's just a process. The ideas just came to me. And before I knew it, I had Haley writing books. I mean, you write what you write about. And she was writing books and resentful of the fact that she couldn't really have a life of her own. So.
Now, I did notice that Haley and you both have red hair, and you're both authors. Any other similarities I need to know about?
Well, originally, see, I based my characters on a lot of times, these Hallmark actors and stuff. And originally, Haley had dark hair because I was thinking of Jennifer Lowndes, who was one of the actresses with Hallmark. But the red hair came in when my artist, she put the cover together, and I just fell in love with the Haley that's on the cover, and so I changed her color to red. But originally she had dark hair, but I guess I know what a redhead temperament is like too.
Now, can you share any fascinating stories or experiences you had while researching the book?
Well, I mean, I did a lot of research. I knew that I wanted, I liked Liam Neeson also, and that's how I came up with the name of Liam for him. But what really intrigued me was when I researched his name and found out that Liam is like strong-willed and protective, and I thought, oh, I picked a perfect name for him. And so, I mean, that was interesting. And then I really wanted a way for Liam. See, he wanted to give her independence, but I wanted a way for him to sort of protect her too. And so I don't want to give the story away, but I researched the necklace and the Celtic knot that is in the design, which means love and stuff. And so I did the research on that, and it was like everything just fell into place with my research. I also enjoyed researching the hotel in Atlanta when they went to it. No, when in Boston, when they went to Boston, and it was just a lot of research that I did that everything just fell into place.
Now, Haley's a Spitfire. Did you have a favorite character in the book? One that you loved a little bit more than the others?
Well, I loved Modoc, the dog. I enjoyed slipping him in the story where I could. But, one of the characters that I really liked was the vendor, the vendor at the farmer's market, because he is based on Ed Asner. I don't know whether anybody that reads it thinks of it, but that's who I was envisioning when I wrote it. And so I kind of gave him that personality. I enjoyed developing Liam's character because, I wanted to show his protectiveness, his wanting to take care of Haley, but keep his feeling to himself as well, so, but, and then Florence, I don't know whether you remember Florence, who was the assistant in, who was basically Haley's contact with the packaging.
Grandma?
She is, yes, Grandma.
Yes,
I had another grandma in my life, and she's based on that grandma that used to work for me when I had the library system. So I enjoy different characters.
Now the vendor, you wrote him after who? Ed
Asner, the actor.
Ed Asner.
Ed Asner.
Now, to explain to people who don't know who Ed Asner is.
He's in some of the Hallmark movies, but what is the name? The Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Yes, I was like, I couldn't
Tyler
remember
Moore.
what it was. I'm glad she remembered.
Yeah. So,
It's funny you said he was your favorite character because I actually loved him. I thought I try not to pick the main characters as my favorite. He was my favorite character, and you know, of course, who doesn't love the dog? You know, you always love the dog.
yeah.
How did you decide on the names of your characters? Now you talked about Liam and how you figured out his. Was there a special significance to Haley's name?
Not really. Not really. It
Okay.
just kind of popped in my head.
It's a
So,
good name. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Let's check the comments real quick. Oh, Kathy says hello. We
hey,
have Kathy A saying hello, and what a beautiful cover you have. Kathy B saying hello from Virginia. Oh, and Ella Davis says my book club members love reading mysteries, so she's going to recommend this book with them. Oh, and she loves reading books with dogs in them too. Ella, your book club will really enjoy this book. Thank you very much. Now let's get to behind the scenes. Oops, there it goes. How did you decide on the book's title and cover design?
well, originally, the title was, what was it? In Plain Sight. You know, like
That's a good
she's
title.
in witness protection. She has built her own career. She hasn't let Ortiz rule her life, and she's built a career as an author. And she's out there, but she's not out there. You know, in a way. But then the more I worked with Haley, and she showed me her independence and her strength, Invincible came to mind. And then when I was working with the necklace, and I put the diamond in the necklace, and how diamonds are like invincible, the Invincible just came to me. So
Oh, definitely, definitely. Now
everything
we need to,
happened for a reason.
exactly. And we need to explain to the readers, Haley was not in witness protection. It took me a minute to understand that her father actually asked Liam to watch
Yes.
over her. He
Yes.
was hired by her father. And you're right, she did not hide in the shadows. She was a best-selling author that people loved her books, but she had another girl that was a front for her. It was almost like she was a ghost author for her own books because
Yes.
another character was the front for her, which is really interesting. I thought that was really great. Let's see, was there a part that was more difficult for you to write in this book and pulled a lot more out of you?
I had a hard time writing the scenes for Ortiz, who's the bad guy. I'm
Oh,
not really an evil person, and it was hard to make, I guess, to think of him being the evil, giving him the evil personalities and stuff. So, and I mean, that was hard, but I also didn't want to give too many clues away as the story was progressing, because I didn't want I don't want the reader to know who the bad guy really is until the very end, you know. So that was
mhm,
a difficult scene, or the different scenes, you know, fitting him into the different stories. Um,
mhm.
but he was the most difficult one. So
Well, it's hard to get your mean on sometimes, you know?
yes, yes.
Let's go to the writing process. Can you describe your writing process? Because
Well,
there's always
basically,
people that want to be authors out there.
well, and I've often had people ask me, you know, how do you get started? Well,
Mhm,
a lot of times I'll think of different things. I'll just be watching TV, and I'll
mhm,
think of something. Just like in the book when Haley was talking about, they had the plane that crashed into the side of the mountain. It could have been the president in that plane. It could have been somebody else. And so a lot of times when I see things happen, things will just sort of pop in my head, and I will jot them down in a notebook. But then when I come back to it, I'll say, okay, well, what if this happened with that? And what if that happened with that? and I'll just grab a piece of paper and I'll put a circle in the middle and say, okay, this is one idea. And then I'll, just add more ideas onto the page and then just sort of connect the dots and the story just sort of comes together. And a lot of times it evolves as I write it as well, because sometimes the characters take over the story too. So.
And how long did it take you to write the book from, the first idea to getting it into the reader's hands?
Well, if I don't have any interruptions or anything going on, I can usually do a book in 4 months, So, but it just depends on how life is, what else is going on in the world. So,
And do you ever have like I hate saying this word because it's like almost like a bad word. How do you handle writer's block or creative slumps?
I have had that problem. A lot of times you just get up in the morning and just can't think. But you know what I do is I come in here and I sit at my desk, I look out the window, and I just turn it over to the Lord. And sometimes He talks to me, He gives me ideas, He gives me the just the break to just, hey, you need to go work on another scene. And so a lot of times that's what I do. But I do look to the Lord for a lot of inspiration.
Oh, I love that, Kay. I absolutely love that. Now, beyond the book, now we kind of touched on this, the fact that you were a librarian, which librarians do not get enough credit because you have to be super stinking smart to be a librarian. How did you start your writing journey? What challenges have you faced? Anything that you'd like to, give an aspiring writer a little bit of inspiration?
Well, like I said, I started back in probably 19. Actually, it was before then. The children were born in 1977 and 79, the first two. And when they were taking their naps, I would read these romances and things. And the more I read them, I thought, I can do something like this, And so I would sit down and would put some ideas together and actually put some one book together. But Nora Roberts was writing about that time, and she was getting all the attention, which is okay. I like Nora. I love Nora.
I love her too.
And it just wasn't my time either. But I just kept at it. And then I just, when I retired, I just picked it up again and did it.
I feel like the fact that you're a librarian, like the book gods should smile on you, because you've been so good to books all your life. All right, let's talk about your readers. What is the most memorable or touching feedback you've ever received from a reader?
Well, I hope I don't get emotional. But when I wrote Love Again, I received an email from one of my readers, and she said she just had to, it just triggered. I was just so descriptive with a victim's reaction to being violated. Because in Love Again, Kara had been raped, and she was having flashbacks. And this particular reader said that I was so on spot with her reaction and everything. And I was tearful. I mean, I just, it really affected me that I could bring up those memories, I guess. And she sent me, and I went back and I copied that email, and she said, you shouldn't be tearful. Your writing was that good that it triggered something in a reader, something very powerful. And that's a sign of an excellent writer. And that just meant a lot to me. And then another time, Wayne and I were we had gone to Nashville. I was doing the interviews with Steve Gerald. And it's something that triggered me was we were walking down the main street in Nashville and walking past the different bars. And it occurred to me that I had actually described walking, how the music blended between the different bars and stuff. And I thought, hey, that's not a bad thing, at least I did something good, But I really try to write stories that will bring people enjoyment.
Mhm.
They will, just give them a good feeling when they finish reading.
Oh, and you do, and you do. We have two more comments. Kathy says that reader note is very special, Kay. Oh, and Robin says the cover is lovely, and it is a beautiful cover. It's
Thank
a
you.
gorgeous cover. Let's see, Book Horizon. I love this one. Now, in Invincible, Haley plotted another book about two cops named Faith and Kyle. Do you have plans on writing Faith and Kyle's story?
Well, I do. I know how that's going. So you just have given me an idea. I might do like a reader magnet or something, to include, with Invincible. But I do have some ideas for Brandon. I like Brandon as well with his his ginger hair.
Mm-hmm.
He and Liam, I think, are going to go into business together because if Liam and Haley get married, he doesn't have to protect her anymore, get paid for it. So,
Mm-hmm.
I am thinking of doing a series, increasing the series and doing a story with Brandon.
Oh,
So,
that would be great. He was really a great character. I could see how you could build on him. And
yeah.
was it his house that they went to? No, it was
Yes,
somebody else's
it was
house.
the
It was
cabin.
his house.
His cabin.
Okay, yeah. And the two twins that kind of thought he was hot. Yeah, I could see how that would work. What are you writing now? Any new projects?
I am working. I just finished a biography that's going to be released next month. It's called White Oak. But I am also working on. I'm looking at my storyboard behind my laptop. It's about the first one in the series is called Mirror Image, and it's about an online auction business. And I'm so looking forward to getting back into that because I really love writing fiction more than I do nonfiction. So, but yes, there is
Yes.
another one coming.
You have a cross to bear because you are good at both, Kay. So just a cross to bear. All right, book giveaway. A reminder that we are giving away not only free books, but these books are signed by the authors. Enter with the link in the show notes, and then I'll announce the winner in our Book Loving Friends group. I'll have you message me your address and we'll send out your books. Now, why spill the tea? Oh, wait, I want to show our February winner. Oh, there we go, was Kathy A. Our April winner was Kristen F. And now spill the tea. Why spill the tea? Before we end, I'd like to share with you why I started Spill the Tea. I wanted to grow as a writer, and part of that journey is reading books written by other people, reading great writing, sometimes extraordinary writing, writing that crawls inside you and becomes a part of you. I could have read the books by myself and said that was awesome, but I wanted to share with my book loving friends and have fun with it. If you enjoyed Spill the Tea today, share, like, tell your friends because books are more fun when you share them with someone you love. Now, our next Spill the Tea, let me see if I can get this going here. Our next Spill the Tea is June 19th at 1 p.m. Eastern. Yes, that's 10 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Mountain, or noon Central. And we are spilling on Mind Games by Nora Roberts. Now, I have a signed copy of Mind Games, signed by Nora, that I will be giving away. This spill would be between myself and my book-loving friends, and we're spilling on this great read. You cannot go wrong with a Nora book. Be sure to pick up Nora's new book and engage in the chat with me on June 19th. It's always more fun with all of my book-loving friends commenting. Now, Kay, let me get back. There we go. Kay, I wanted to thank you for joining us and giving us insights into your writing and your writing world. Now, Kay has a special place in my heart because I meet with her every Wednesday. She and I are part of a writing group of women that are supporting each other in their writing journey. And I want to thank all those women and Kay, because they have made such a difference in my writing. Thank you, Kay.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here, because I loved hearing stories. I heard stories today I had not heard before, and that's always great because I like learning something new. Now, a huge thank you to all of you for tuning in and chatting with us about great books. You're the best. I'll put the kettle on for next time. Bye for now, everybody. Hugs.